Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. Here we go then, boys and girls. The job is half complete. We've made it from the 6th tier to the 3rd tier. Presumably, it will now be just as easily to take this team to the Champions League, right? Hello, welcome to part 16 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first 2 games in Tier 3 for you. We are home, against Orléans and away against Grenoble. These are both teams that I've heard of. Oh, it's a whole new world for us. Now we've made it up to this level. A whole new world that we stand a little bit of a chance in. The media are predicting us a 7th place finish. We are the most highly fancied of the newly promoted sides, and we've got a player in the Dream 11 in the shape of Gabriel Tutu, who's just signed a new 3-year contract with us. So lots of stuff pointing in the right direction for us here at Tour. If you missed the transfer special at the end of last week, I urge you to go back and watch it, because it is, and it was, the most significant one we've had so far. Lots of new key players have been brought in to join up with this very talented young squad that we've been putting together, and we have a new tactic as well. We are going to be going with a 4-3-3, loosely based on a wing play system. We had been using the Route 1 4-4-2 for the previous 3 seasons, but it got found out a little bit towards the end of last season. So we've got to try something new. And new boy Traoré does fit in really rather nicely at the base of the midfield. So he is going to be quite the key player for us this year. So first game of the season, I didn't check where Orléans are in the media prediction. Let's have a little look. They have just been relegated from the tier above and are one of the favourites to go straight back up. So this is a tough test for us to start things off at this new level. And we're going with new boy Anthony Mandrea in goal. Goda has served us very well over the last 3 years, but at 35 years old, I don't know if he's going to be returning to the 2nd tier, the 2nd tier version of Tour, the team he signed for all those years ago. But he will never be forgotten. And obviously, there's every chance he'll force his way back into the team yet. Mandrea might be useless. At left back, we've got Moustache, the greatest name in the history of Football Manager. There's a back four of Moustache, Deleste, Boyd and Abdallah. Traoré, as mentioned, at the base of the midfield. So quite the new look to the back 6. Only Boyd and Abdallah surviving from last season. Then Vaquero alongside Gaudan in midfield. A lot more familiarity there. And certainly familiarity with the front 3. Gotan, Babai and Tutu were all here last year. Gotan has been training to play as a left winger. He was previously a left midfielder. And Babai was on loan last year from Monaco, but has now joined up with us permanently. And as mentioned, Tutu, apparently one of the best players in the division. So let's have a little look at him playing up front on his own. He wasn't actually our top scorer last year. Theo Her outscored him, but did massively go off the boil as the season went on. And to be fair, the Media Dream 11 all year long was saying Tutu was the better player than Her. I just didn't really see it. But maybe that's because we weren't playing to Tutu's strengths. And I'm hoping that this system will play to his strengths a little bit more, gives us a little bit more defensive stability. We've got a lot of very good defensive midfielders coming through. And I think this will give us some nice balance. So fingers crossed, we shall look good in the new system. There is Moustache on the left-hand side. Cross comes over looking for Babai. Can't find him. Abdallah is there to get the ball back into the area, though. Finds Gotan, who I think is offside. The linesman's got his flag up. Presumably no VAR at this level. It's a nice turnout for today. We're not close to filling the ground, but we're an awful lot closer than we have been in previous seasons. And yeah, Gotan is well offside there. So a little bit unfortunate, but we have a free kick through Gaudan, and his free kick skims the top of the crossbar, I think, and it remains 0-0. We've started brightly. Neither team really establishing themselves on the game with a lot of good chances so far, but we have had a couple of highlights, which is nice. Although we are defending a corner here, but Deleste, the new boy who's come in from Paris Saint Germain this summer, heads clear, but then ends up chasing the ball down and getting very out of position. So good instinct, good physical defending, getting it clear, but maybe not the smartest move in the world, being the man to go and chase it out afterwards. That's probably something he needs to work on. He's on a yellow card as well, so he needs to maybe calm down just a smidgen. There he is again, though, seeming quite dominant in the air early on, and Moustache plays it forward to Tutu. I'm never going to get tired of saying the word Moustache on this channel. I might trim my mustache as a tribute to him. If he ends up player of the season, I'll shave off the beard and go just mustachioed until Anna will kill me, until he leaves the club. 2-2 has rounded the keeper. He's just signed a new contract. He's got his little fingers on his little ears, having a little celebration. And I guess this is what happens when you play to his strengths. He is quick. He is going to be very good getting in behind defences. And he's shown it there by rounding the keeper with ease to put us 1-0 up on our debut, or re-debut, I guess, back at this level of football. Gotan has been played in behind here. Crosses looking for 2-2. And he makes it 2 with a thumping header. He's showing you everything that he's capable of in this first half. Where was this man last year? Where was this man towards the end of last season when we couldn't score a goal? And he wasn't, it was her who got injured. 2-2 was fit and in the team at the end of last season. We just couldn't get a goal out of him. But all of a sudden, the new season starts. He's got a new wave of confidence over him. We've built the team around him, and he's repaid us with 2 goals against a team that I will keep emphasising were playing 2 divisions above us last year, and we are looking pretty good against them at the moment. Lovely old stuff. Right, Abdullah, who has picked up a knock. We probably need to deal with that ASAP. Mustache with the cross. 2-2's there with a header, but this time the goalkeeper is able to keep hold of it. It remains 2-0. I hope we still get 5 substitutions at this level. I've not actually checked yet. Boyd does well to head clear to Babai. This is going to be Abdullah's last touch, because after this highlight, I'm going to take him off. In fact, we're going to take him off now, because a fully fit Abdullah makes it past his man there, I think. So let's take him off. We've got Michael Oliver, who can play anywhere across the back four. He is a left footer, but I don't mind playing him at right back. We're not going to make him an inverted wing back because I'm not that fancy. Traore to Galdan. And now ball over the top, looking for 2-2 again, who brings it down nicely, plays it into Babai, and he's now waiting for the ball to come back in from Babai. In fact, there is the penalty. Couldn't handle the run from Babai, and 2-2 has got the chance on his first game at this level to grab a hat-trick. He hasn't done it. He got 2 good opportunities too as well. The initial penalty is saved. He has the follow-up shot, but that is also saved. It remains 2-0, so perhaps 2-2 can't do everything. He wouldn't be our normal penalty taker. In fact, we had a couple of penalty shootouts last year where he wasn't even in the top 5 for our penalty takers. So it is a weakness of his game. Right, Babai looks like he could do with coming off here. Odebert is a new player, and the other one who's come in from Paris Saint Germain, so he can come on and play on that right-hand side. We've now got left footers in both of the wide positions further forward. We will make him an inverted winger. At least we'll let Gotan cut in onto his left foot to get the crosses in. And we still have 4. There's got to be 3 more subs remaining. You surely don't get 6 at this level. I'm looking at what we've got on the bench. I think we're going to get David Carter on for Traore. And then what else do we need to do? There's not a lot we need to change, really. And Big Fat Dennis can stay on the bench. We don't need to make any changes at the back. So we don't need to make all 5 changes. That's something I'll get into the swing of doing when we're a little bit further into the season. I was always comfortable doing it when we were winning games massively. We might take off Mustache, actually. Stick Boyd out there and get Barrett on just to keep the energy levels up at the back. 2-2 seems to be doing okay. And I don't think we can make another change now. I think you're only allowed, you can have 5 subs, but I think it's only 3 substitution things. I forget the word for it. But that does use up our last substitution. And it's fine. We've won 2-0 in a game that was, I mean, it was always going to tell us a lot about how we're likely to face up this season. And from what I've seen there, we are in with a shout. 3 teams or 2 teams go up automatically. 1 goes into a promotion playoff with the 3rd bottom finisher in the division above. I think we're in with a shout. We've just beaten one of the pre-season promotion favourites, and we did it reasonably comfortably. If we can now go and pick up another win away from home against Grenoble, who are predicted to finish where, oh my word, this is a test. Goodness me. So they were also relegated from the division above and are predicted to go back up as champions. How did they get on the first day? They drew 0-0 away against Criteil Lusitanos, who are a mid-table side. So, you know what? Maybe we're in with a chance. Imagine if we won these 2 games to start things off. That'd be lovely. Well, here's an interesting situation. Stephen Boyd, who at last summer, not the summer just gone, the summer before, was at the under 20 Euros or under 20 World Cup or something, playing for Italy, has now been called up for the France under 19s. I don't know that I've ever seen this happen in FM before, but I guess he's still not made up his mind. He doesn't mention in there anything about previous internationals, which is a little bit frustrating. But yeah, his see, it's now saying no youth caps. I assure you, this man has got youth caps for Italy, but has seemingly switched allegiance, even though he is now fluent in Italian, which he wasn't before. And he hasn't actually picked or declared for anyone just yet. So that is really interesting. He's decided to go with France, seemingly for now, unless Italy maybe haven't shown any further interest. They haven't called him up for a little while. I wish there was a way of actually seeing that. You would think it would be on his landmarks that he got called up for a youth team. But apparently not. Did I dream all of that? Stephen Boyd's going to be playing for France now anyway. So with Abdullah picking up the knock in the last game, just the one change for the Grenoble fixture, Michael Oliver coming in to start from right back. He is still being chased by multiple clubs. We've been turned down so many offers from Benfica all summer. I wonder if he's decided, choosing to change his allegiance. See, there you go. Confirms there. Capped under 20 for Portugal. Watch this space with Michael Oliver. Be interesting to see if he ends up switching over to France as well, because he's not been called up for anyone for this current batch of internationals. So I guess he's up for grabs. I love all this. This is interesting. Obviously, I want these boys to turn out for France. We're doing a save in France. I want to build it around French homegrown players as much as I can. We're not being hard and fast with that as a rule, but it would be very nice to have a team full of French international players. And it's much easier to have a team full of French international players if the players that we've got are French rather than Italian or Portuguese. That's had just a little bit of an explanation of how the world works with Kev. You're welcome. Right, remember, this is quite a good side we're playing against here, so we probably do need to focus in a little bit on what is going on the pitch, and they are knocking the ball around us really quite comfortably at the moment, and Mandrea is not really troubled by that shot from range. We don't really mind him shooting from there. Mustache has 3 players to aim for, finds Gotan, and now it ends up back with Mustache, and Traore gives it to Gotan and Godan, and they've done very well combining on this left-hand side, and Gotan has been released here to charge down the left. He's got options in the middle. The cross comes in. Vaquero is there, and he's hit the base of the post. Oh, that was an opportunity. Vaquero not able to find the target, but very, very close. Excellent work down the left-hand side by Gotan, Mustache, Godan, Traore. The 4 of them really combining for an overload on the left. And it was very effective. And then Vaquero charging forward to get on the end of the cross as well. Apparently, we didn't have anybody in the midfield doing any kind of defending, but luckily, he didn't need it. I assume Babai was in there covering on his own. He seems like the sensible sort. We'd be very happy with a 0-0 away from home in a game like this, against a team like this. It seems like nobody's turned up for Grenoble, unless they're our... maybe that's the away end. How far away from Tours is Grenoble? In my mind, every time I hear the word Grenoble, I think Andre the Giant, which makes me think that it's kind of in the Alps and probably about as far away from Tours as you can get on the French mainland. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know down in the comments section. But that would probably explain the lack of away following if it is that far away. Cross comes in. Boyd is there to head clear because he's French now, and that's apparently what he does. But the move doesn't end. Grenoble piling on the pressure here. And Gotan not really doing much of a job pretending to defend on that left-hand side. He's much better going forward than he is defensively. And Mandrea, luckily, got us out of trouble, pushes it behind for the corner. But they have that corner now to take, and it's cleared off the line by Mustache. Wonderful stuff. And 2-2 has been fouled there. I think he's invited that one. Quite clever play from him. Very mature for a 20-year-old. Didn't have anyone up there supporting him. He's just offered enough of himself to the opposition defender to draw the foul. Stephen Boyd has missed his header here. I thought French people headed the ball, but apparently not. I mean, remember, before he was an Italian defender, he's probably worth considerably less. Now he's a French one. I haven't thought this through. I want Italian defenders because of the sell-on fees. But the 2-2 chasing around again up front, struggling to struggling to get much in the way of service today. They've got in behind Boyd again, and Mandrea once again showing his value. I said it earlier in the episode. I'll keep saying it. I'll never stop loving Goda. Those of you who watched, another goal line clearance. This time I think it's Michael Oliver. Those of you who watched Tour the first time round 5 years ago will know that that story came to an end very abruptly when we had no goalkeepers at all. So to have a solid presence in goal in the shape of Goda for 3 years has been wonderful for me. It's helped me with a lot of Tour demons, but it was time for him to move on. And Mandrea is showing himself to be quite an adequate replacement at the moment. And the fullback's doing excellent work with goal line clearances as well. Moustache now with the throw, finds Gotan, who plays it back to Moustache. And now Godan, Vaquero, back to Godan again. This is where we have that extra man in midfield. And what a goal from Jules Godan! Oh, my word. We saw him do it a few times last year. I actually noticed over the summer that where it has assistant manager's preferred position or whatever it is that shows you where he's supposed to be playing, he seems to fancy himself as a striker. We've only ever used him in midfield, but that is a wonderful hit. Maybe he is a striker. Not that he's ever going to get the opportunity to play there with so many great strikers ahead of him, but what a goal. Goodness me. We are going to need to make some changes here. We've got a lot of tired legs already. Perron can come in midfield. He's actually been on the transfer list all summer, but needs must. We haven't got very many midfielders. We do have the transfer window closing in a couple of days, so I am hopeful still of bringing in some loans, but we shall wait and see how it develops. We're doing 4 changes here, trying her up front for 2-2, and just freshening up in other areas. Godan is tiring, though. Boyd is tiring. We're probably going to need to bring... We've got Barrett down on the bench as well, haven't we? So we'll bring Barrett on for Boyd for these final 10 minutes. Salah Buzrara also on the bench, another one who's been on the transfer list all summer, and probably not cut out for this level, but Big Fat Dennis has picked up an injury. So at the moment, Buzrara is the 4th choice striker. What have we just seen from David Carter? He is one of our own, boys and girls. And wowzers, can he hit a free kick? We have done a couple of lovely goals today. And most importantly, we've beaten 2 of the best teams in this division to open things up in wonderful fashion. David Carter, I mean, I'd like it if they pack that in a little bit while the transfer window's still open, because it is a little bit dangerous having a teenage centre-back who can hit a free kick like that. That's going to draw attention. Keep that off the telly, for goodness sake. Right, her trying to round the keeper, doesn't need to. It's just slotted it under him. Grenoble were chasing it, trying to get back into the game, committed too many men forward, and all we had to do was knock it forward for her. It's an easy finish for him, and at 3-0, this does flatter us a little bit, but Grenoble clearly have decided to try and chase this game, and it hasn't really worked out for them, and I don't think they deserve to be losing 3-0, but we will absolutely take it, and we will absolutely take being top of the table come the end of this episode. I don't expect us to stay there all season long. I don't think it's going to be like the last couple of seasons. We didn't even manage to finish top last season, for goodness sake. But it's certainly nice to be there for now. The more points we can get on the board, the better of a chance we give ourselves as the season goes on. And obviously, we would love the opportunity to secure a 4th consecutive promotion and get us closer to returning to where we deserve to be, which... I mean, for Tour is the 2nd tier, but we're obviously going to continue to push on from there and try and win the lot and topple Paris Saint Germain. That is the goal. And I feel like today we took 1 step closer to achieving that goal. What a couple of results. What a couple of performances. What a team of young players. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.